yourself a glass of coffee. Put on an episode of Jive Talkin with your motherfucking fan, Shane Jive Talkin, yeah. Jive Talkin, yeah. Weekly news and heavy rockin' heavy news. Jive Talkin, yeah. So come and jive with me. Oh, jeez, that might be good. That's going up there. It's in the top 5. That is in the top 5, I would say. That beat has just got a good bluesy rhythm. And if you don't know anything about me, I've never sang a day in my life, but I've always, I guess, fancied myself a singer in some kind of a way. But I got that Joe Cocker range. I get, well, no, yeah. You know, I'm better off with that. I can't hit the high notes like everyone else can, but I can get the Joe Cocker range, that deep, low, big guttural, growly, if you will. Welcome to Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, episode 103. 103 episodes of this fine podcast where I release all of the negativities of the day. We all have them. And you breathe it in and you blow it out. Breathe it in and blow out all the negativity, and then we get on with some fun and having some giggles, some laughs, and some good times. If that sounds like it's something that you'd be into, then go and listen to about 102 more episodes, and then you'll be all caught up. And, you know, or you can go over to the YouTube channel, put your comments. Anytime you're feeling froggy to do that. Look at that. Look at what we got up first. There is Gene Simmons, and he is the demon. He is the bass-playing demon. He spits blood and fire in the rock band that's been around for 50 years called Kiss. And he says his hands on the Holy Scriptures. There will be no more shows in makeup from Kiss after the the End of the World tour. I have been having a hell of a time spitting the words final farewell tour show. But let's get into it. Let's see what old Gene's got to say. He's going to say, oh yeah. He loves to say that. Paul says, we're going to play another little number for you. So, oh yeah. In a new interview with Rolling Stone, that's a very good magazine. It's been around for 70 years or something, and it's a very iconic magazine, Rolling Stone. Kiss's bassist vocalist, because he does sing some of the tunes, Gene Simmons, insisted that the band's final show on the End of the Road tour, scheduled for December 2nd at Madison Square Garden in New York City, will be the group's last. Oh yeah! My hand on the Bible. And I should know because my people wrote the book. In fact, my people also wrote the follow-up book, or the sequel, some might say, the New Testament. And so I'll say right here, right now, my hand on the Bible, it will be the final Kiss in makeup, quotes, appearance. So they might say, guys, remember 30 years ago when we did an Unplugged on MTV? We're going to do another one of those. Regarding Kiss's reasons for hanging it up this time, Simmons said, it has nothing to do with ticket sales or anything. It has to do with Mother Nature. And at a certain point, you have to understand that it's going to be a point of diminishing returns. And he knows all about diminishing returns because of the kind of band we are. Now, he's going to say the same thing that Paul taught him how to say. I'm not even looking at it, guys. He's going to say the same thing that Paul Stanley taught him to say, which is, hey, we could do this for another 20 years if we didn't have to wear the boots and the makeup. Let's see if he says that. I wear 7-inch platform dragon boots. Is that what's on the front, the dragon? Each weighs as much as a light bowling ball. Armor, studs, leather, spandex. Gene, you left spandex out. The shorts are not leather, they're spandex. Codpiece might be leather. The leggings are spandex. All that stuff. And that weighs about 40 pounds in total. And I got to spit fire and fly through the air and all that. And you got to do it for 2 hours. The 70-year-old Gene Simmons Also opened up about the emotional weight of his touring days with Kiss coming to an end. When I was a kid going to school, my nickname was Mr. Spock. I've never been much for emotion and stuff like that. I remember my Uncle George, old Uncle George, who I loved dearly. I remember standing over his grave. Jesus. Did you know him alive or just dead? And being sad, but I didn't cry. Tears don't come easy for me. I think he cried in one episode of Family Jewels, didn't he? When he visited his mother or his father or something. But the few times they have is when I took out the audience and I see what? Okay, I'm going back. Who I love dearly. I remember standing over his grave and being sad, but I didn't cry. Tears don't come easy for me. But the few times they have is when I look out at the audience and I see a 50-plus-year-old fan. That's me, Gene. It's me. Who's been with us ever since he was a kid, wearing a Kiss makeup. And next to him is his late 20s, early 30s-year-old son wearing makeup and sitting on the shoulders of, that would be emotional, right? And sitting on the shoulders of his son is his grandson, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, whatever. Any age that you could consider a child to be safely placed upon the shoulders would probably have to be about, I'm going 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, they're getting heavy. Wearing our makeup. So that's trifecta. It's the Father, the Son, the Father, the Son, the grandson. Wearing our makeup. And that little kid putting up my hand gesture, his hand gesture, the horns. Gene, it wasn't your gesture. Ronnie James Dio. And that little kid putting up my hand gesture that I couldn't copyright, but I wanted to, with the 2 horns and the thumb out. Oh, now he's saying, yeah. No, it's not. Bang! Like Dio used to do, because you got to use your thumbs to make the bottom jaw Satan's head. So, bang! Now he's going, no, guys, I do thumb out. Everyone does thumb out. This is hang loose. No, this is I love you in Italy. Which means I love you, right? With the 2 horns and thumb out, which actually in sign language means I love you. So you didn't make it up. It's not your hand gesture if it exists in sign language. That's impossible. When was sign language invented? Think about it, Gene. Not yours. Which means I love you, that hand gesture, and sticking his tongue out for the very first time. Well, that gets me going every time. So that they're all, the grandfather, the father, and the child, they're all standing there in the makeup with the tongue out and the thumbs the upsies, because, of course, all 3 of them are huge Gene Simmons fans. None of them wanted to try to put the Paul Stanley makeup on or Ace makeup or anything. They're all Gene Simmons hits. Gene was also asked if there was possibly one of a Kiss show in the future. Gene was also asked if there was possibility of a one-off Kiss show in the future. It was written correctly, guys. Paul Stanley, Kiss guitarist, vocalist, has his Soul Station band. Gene said, I'm sure he'd love to play some shows. I've got the Gene Simmons band at some point. I may want to jump up on stage and do some tunes. But the physicality of being in Kiss says that this is the right thing at the right place at the right time, because B.B. King played until his late 80s. He was sitting on stage. We can't do that. We don't sit down. Well, you don't play like B.B. King either, honey, sister, child. Let me tell you about that. Let me go ahead and what I've done is I've opened up both my cans. I got my purple Nurple, and I've also got this berry water. So however I'm feeling at the moment, I have some. And it was berry. It was the berry flavored. End of the Road tour was originally scheduled. Okay, let's see. We already got through that. Let's move on. Randy Rhoads, the amazing, the incomparable, some would say incomparable, magnanimous, fantastic, rest in peace, dear, wonderful, and sweet young sir, was in that helicopter wreck. They'll probably put it in this story here, but Jack Osbourne, he explains the non-release of early Randy Rhoads rehearsal demos. And I thought there was some kind of to-do going on with this. Like Sharon said something, and then Bob Daisley got in there and said something, which I thought was, Bob Daisley, could we agree or disagree that if it wasn't for that guy, Ozzy's, launching pad for his solo career wouldn't be... Let's find out. Jack Osbourne has elaborated on Ozzy Osbourne's recent claims that the quality of Bob Daisley's rehearsal tapes of the original Blizzard of Oz band with late Ozzy solo band guitarist Randy Rhoads was too dreadful to be released to the public. Okay, so we've got ourselves a kerfuffle going. In a recent episode of the Osbournes podcast, Ozzy and his family discussed Daisley's legendary Holy Grail demos, which reportedly contained around 8 hours of recording sessions with Randy Rhoads. When Ozzy and Sharon's son Jack suggested that it should be up to Randy's family to decide whether those recordings should see the light of day, Sharon said,
"Exactly, Ozzy. Oh, you're always right about everything almost, except for when I'm right over you, isn't it, Ozzy?"
But Ozzy offered a more practical reason for why those tapes have not been made available to the public. The quality sucks. The quality is fucking dreadful, Sharon. And Sharon concurred, saying,
"It was recorded, Ozzy, on a little cassette machine, on a tiny, tiny little cassette machine, and yeah, it's not for us to do anything with. Although I'd like to get my hands on it, I ain't gonna lie."
She didn't say that part. During an appearance on Diary of the Madman, the Ultimate Ozzy podcast, wow. How does Jack and the entire family not go on a podcast called that? Diary of the Madman, the Ultimate Ozzy Osbourne podcast. The entire family better be making it over there for episodes. They have based an entire existence on it. Jack attempts to clarify Ozzy's position regarding the unreleased Randy Rhoads recording, saying as transcribed,
"I think that's kind of what Ozzy was trying to say. I think where he went with it is like, if you're gonna release it, there's gotta be a standard to it. And Demon's Ghost, I saw one. Right behind your head. Ultimate Ozzy podcast host.
Why don't they have his name in here? You put the entire title of that podcast, but you can't put the podcaster, the interviewer's name in here? Oh, that's very rude.
Jack continued, "I think Randy deserves nothing but the best, and you don't want to release something that's like,
No, come on now."
And that's what he said. He recorded it just on tape, a tape recorder. It's not a real studio recording. It's not from the deck or from the mixer or anything like that.
Jack went on to suggest there was some contractual disagreements that led to the recordings not being made available to the public.
Oh, bloody bag. To my knowledge, that was that. And this is just the way it was kind of presented. Now, I could be wrong. Everybody's wrong from time to time, and sometimes Jack Osbourne, he's wrong too. But my parents, Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne, if you didn't know, felt that the way that was the terms of the deal, it was a big ask. And ultimately, and what they said in the podcast was it should be left to Randy's family.
Jack explained. He's going to explain why it should be Randy's family. And it should be Randy's family. Wasn't Kevin DeBro like best friends with Randy Rhoads? Because, Quiet Riot?
Because that's ultimately they're trading on at that point.
What? They're trading on at that point.
No one gives a shit that it's Bob Daisley on that.
Bob Daisley's going to get in here.
People give a shit that it's Randy Rhoads. I'm not going to be a dick. The people don't give a shit that it's my dad on that. People want to hear and see more Randy Rhoads.
See, he put his dad in there. That's good he did that. Because if you would have just let it hang with Bob Daisley, he just unleashed the weapons, right? Didn't Bob Daisley write all the tunes?
I think collectively, my parents, that would be Ozzy and Sharon, you know this already. And the management and everyone was just like, this is a Randy property at the end of the day, just because there's such a little out there of him. And they just felt it wasn't in bad form to release it.
The 73-year-old Daisley, who has sued the Osbournes several times over unpaid royalties, addressed Sharon and Ozzy's latest comments in a new interview with the artist on recording starring Attica Live. Regarding Ozzy's claims that the quality of the unreleased records is dreadful, Bob said, well, hey, listen here, buddy. Well, I don't know if Ozzy's actually heard it. There are snippets of that of what I have on my website, bobdaisley.com. And the quality is not bad at all, quite frankly, if I could be quite frank with you. And it's not a little cassette player either. I'm telling you, you're telling me that it's some kind of little shitty little tape cassette thing. It ain't a little cassette tape player. No. It was done on my boombox. That's a cassette player. It was done on my boombox that I used to record all our rehearsals on. I used to record the rehearsals really just for us to have as a reference of what we were doing as we were writing, because the famous last words, oh, we'll remember that tomorrow. And you never do. You never do. And I never, ever wanted to take that chance. So I used to have a reference. I used to have what you used to have? So I used to record everything. That was the only reason I recorded everything, was so I have good quality, actually, have a reference the next day. And we wouldn't forget it, like we were talking. We were saying we were going to forget it. Then we put our instruments down. We leave. We forgot the riff. Now we don't forget the riffs. But it's pretty good quality, actually, for having been recorded on a cassette player. A big ghetto blaster. It had the double speakers and the double cassette deck. And I was known to hit the cardboard every once in a while and do a couple of back spins and a windmill. People don't call them that anymore, but if anybody wants to hear the quality from them themselves, they can judge. It's on my website, bobdaisley.com. I put snippets there. I put snippets from the anniversary of Randy's death. I put snippets there for when former Aussie drummer Lee Kerslake passed away. Rest in peace. There's, I think, 3 or 4 snippets of about 30 or 40 seconds long. Can you believe it? I put 30 and 40 second snippet clippets. It's what I like to do. You can play 40 seconds of something legally without having to get permission. Oh, he don't own it either? I don't get that. Okay. Anyways, let's get into this really quick. Nikki Sixx. He was talking about scary stalker situation. I didn't know anything about this, but if there was ever a man to stalk, out of Motley Crue, Tommy Lee. I mean, I used to think that Tommy Lee was like this, just crazy guy that could really just put the whipping on anyone, until I started to hear those stories where like, oh, Tommy Lee's son's beating him up all the time, and I'm like, what? I thought Tommy Lee would be like, bro, get out of my house, man. Bang, bang, hitting you with some right crosses. But Nikki Sixx here, he's had some experiences, and I wanted to get into that. I don't know how long we're running here because I've just been rattling off forever. But I do have one more story, a video, and your comments. So we'll see what we're doing. You know, I don't know how long this story is. Basically, what I'm trying to spit out. Spit in. Time for a drink. Spit in. Well, I'm sure it's clear to one and all. I am actually favoring the berry water over the purple nurple. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I don't even drink the whole thing. They're like $3. You get about halfway down, and you're enjoying the first half, but then you're like, and then it's like you're losing $1. You're losing $1.10 or something. Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx says that he has been stalked and harassed by at least 2 people in recent years. Like these are like recent years. The 64-year-old musician who resides in Wyoming with his wife Courtney Sixx and their daughter Ruby Sixx, 4, who's 4, they put that in there, 4, took to his social media earlier today, Monday, November 13th, to write, like many other public figures, myself and my family were harassed and threatened by a stalker, a deranged woman from Tennessee. Well, she's still alive. They're like, yeah, I know, bro, that was 5 years ago. I got over it. Who I have never met or seen, targeted my wife and child with threats of death and bodily harm. That's not good. Don't do that. This was not some internet troll, but someone who was convinced that she was somehow connected to me. Maybe she was on the Theater of Pain tour, Nikki. And you says, oh, baby, I'm going to be there for you all for the rest of your life. Don't you worry about it. You just met Nikki Sixx. Could be. Her harassment went on for a long time and got progressively more scary, forcing me to go to court several times and obtain restraining orders. She violated the restraining order multiple times, not just once, twice, or 3 or 4. That's multiple times. As a result, the court found the conduct serious enough to hold her in contempt of court, man, and order that she be arrested. Officer, I want you to press, I want the fullest extent of the law, please. I want to thank the judge, the court staff, and my legal team for protecting my family. Ooh. This is going to be one hell of a Thanksgiving for the Nikki Sixx family. Say, guys, didn't we survived. He's carving into that, because he's the guy that does the carving in the family. He's the guy because he's Nikki Sixx. So all of them are there. Doesn't even matter if the granddads are there. I'm Nikki Sixx. I do the carving. And when he's up there, he's just going to be saying, remember that crazy lady from Tennessee? Jeez. Now another stalker. Oh, he gets rid of Tennessee. Where's this one from? Now another stalker from a different part of the country started doing the same thing. Going so far as to travel to my house, man. He traveled to my house and threatened our lives again. The FBI is currently investigating. It's one thing to threaten my safety. Oh, here we go. Don't you damn threaten my family, son. It's one thing to threaten my safety, man. But when it comes to serious threats against my wife and my children, it just becomes beyond alarming. They do not deserve that. And I would 100% agree with that. Nobody deserves to be stalked, bothered, harassed, harangued. Man, thanks to the FBI, law enforcement, the detective, and the legal and court system for treating these threats with the severity and urgency they require. I will go to any lengths to protect my family. Anyone will go to any length to protect their family. There's nobody out there that goes, you can have them. Because if there is someone out there that says, yeah, you can have them, go ahead. There's my family right there. They don't live with them. They've already figured out they're an asshole. They've already figured out they're no good, so they're gone, okay? I'm sorry, Nikki, but I just feel like you need that. Thousands of celebrities across the world are occasionally confronted by fanatics who give them intimidating attention. Earlier this year, research published in the Journal of PLOS by Idaho State University identified factors that are associated with the tendency to engage in stalking, such as having frequent personal thoughts about a favorite celebrity and being prone to boredom. So, yeah, I mean, that would be the right concoction, wouldn't it? You're bored, you don't know what to do, but you can't seem to get Taylor Swift out of your mind or whoever it is. You're just constantly thinking about them, but you don't have any energy, anything to put your energy in. That sounds about right. Another study showed almost half of the threatening fan letters had writers that believed they already had some kind of personal relationship with the celebrity, perceiving themselves as a friend or an acquaintance. Sixx and his family moved to Wyoming in 2020, leaving Los Angeles, a city he had called home since Motley Crue's earliest days. He later said in an interview that the city was starting to feel overpopulated. Steven Adler, speaking of a little bit more Motley Crue news, Steven Adler here of the Appetite for Destruction and the Steven Adler Band says that Vince Neil is the voice, his voice is rock and roll gold. So a couple of bars of this and we'll see how far we can get. When Steven Adler and Guns N' Roses emerged from the Sunset Strip with Appetite for Destruction, they soon became known as the world's most dangerous band. Not far behind them in terms of reputation were a riotous group of glam rockin' ruffians known as Motley Crue, fronted by Vince Neil. Taking a break from his work with Motley Crue to connect with fans and share the stage with another legend, Neil will bring his solo shows alongside Adler's Appetite for Destruction experience to Quechan Casino Resort on November 30th, 2023. Hey, if you're anywhere around Quechan, get over there. And I will say this. We did a video about Steven Adler's Appetite for Destruction. I'm telling you right now, they're better than Guns N' Roses is right now. That is big words. I know that's, someone's out there going, Shane, no you didn't. No you damn didn't just say that. But I'm telling you, go look them up, some of that live stuff online. That singer is rocking it like it's 1987. Sean Adler or Steven Adler, he's got some time under his belt. So, but he's still doing it. He's still up there and he's rocking it. Adler's solo show has been destroying attendance forecasts at festivals and concerts throughout the summer. Is it because of me? Is it because of my video that I made about him and people went, oh my God, they're so good, I'm going to go buy a ticket? There's probably only been 300 views of that video. It can't be that, right? The Appetite for Destruction experience that Adler and his band of heavy metal heavyweights blast out on stage is so addictively powerful. It has inspired devoted fans to travel from show to show. Holy crap, I was right. Adler is known for his appreciation for the fans of his music and has coined these loyal supporters, the Steven Adler Army. It serves as recognition of how important fans are to Adler and also as a tribute to the Kiss Army that was a fixture of the 1970s when he was growing up and developing his own musical tastes and styles. The Kiss Army. I always wanted to be part. I didn't know exactly what to do. I didn't know what to do to get in the Kiss Army. Could someone explain that? The whole process and what it was like opening the package with the Kiss Army goodies in it? The little badge that says 10% off condoms and coffins. The Kiss album Alive and Kiss Alive 2 were influential on Adler and remain two of his favorites. Kiss Alive 2, I could literally turn on Kiss Alive 2 and probably do every song, air guitar, drums and all that comes up. And every little nuance of wow, hello, every song, everything. I loved Kiss Alive 2. Is this Steven Adler? Hey, listen here, buddy. You don't have to fill out an application to be in the Steven Adler Army. Just come to the shows, and we'll make sure you have the time of your fucking life, buddy. Says Adler with a fun-loving spirit that has endeared him to music and pop culture fans around the world. Neil and Motley Crue continue to sell out stadiums around the globe. They have sold over 100 million albums worldwide and are responsible for such hits as Kickstart My Heart, Home Sweet Home, Shout at the Devil, and Dr. Feelgood. One of the main reasons for that success is the signature vocal style of their charismatic singer. Hi. There's no argument that the Crue and GNR are two of the true mega powers in the world of rock and roll. So it is a rare treat for individual legends like Adler and Neil to bring their solo shows together for an epic night of heavy metal. Steven Adler and Vince Neil in one night is going to be a staggering heavy metal concert of mammoth proportions. Mammoth will not be there. They just use the word mammoth proportions, but Mammoth WVH will not be there. Says Ari Kamen, the dynamic lead singer. Oh, was that him? Ari Kamen. He's good. Lead singer for Adler's solo band. Adler's solo band also features Michael Thomas, Alistair James, and Kristen Sturba. I don't know any of them people. You can get in the comments and feed me. Together they have perfected the sound of rebellion and decadence that pulsed out of the Sunset Strip with appetite for destruction, catapulted to dominate the Billboard charts. Hey, listen, buddy. We love Vince. His voice is rock and roll fucking gold. We're thrilled to be putting on a show with him, says Adler, of the Quinchan Casino event where the two legends will converge. Do we want to learn about Quinchan Casino Resort? Quinchan Casino Resort is one of the most impressive gaming facilities in the Southwest. Located in Winter Haven, California, it's 4 hours from Los Angeles and 4 hours from Las Vegas. An ideal oasis of fun. It will be fucking great to see old friends, and I look forward to seeing lots of new faces too, Adler said. I'm personally inviting everyone to come out and experience the thrill of one-of-a-kind night with me and motherfucking Vince Neil. Aye. Let the spectacle begin. That's kind of a good shot of him, though, right? He's going, you're invited, but your friends can't come. And he's going, by God, there he is. He's magnanimous. Let's just watch a little bit of Nita Strauss. I was gonna do a full big thing with Nita Strauss and Alyssa White Gluz. I always say Goals. Wouldn't it be better if her name was Alyssa White Goals? It rolls off the tongue better. Alyssa White Gluz. Alyssa White Goals, Alyssa White Gluz, a little white goals, Alyssa White Gluz, a little white But we already were doing a video. This Friday, we're doing, well, you've already seen it. Dragon Force and Alyssa White Gluz. Is the G silent? I don't know. There's something it just doesn't work. But she's up there. She's doing Feed the Wolf. The Wolf You Feed. Nita Strauss's song, solo album. There's Nita right there. There's the lady. Just a couple bars. Let's just get some. And that was great. I mean, I really enjoyed that. No. What you gonna say to me, girl? Oh yeah, you gotta have one of them breakdowns. Oh shit, there she goes. I'm going to say something crass right now, and I don't mean it to say, but just imagine you're in a deep and long committed loving relationship with Alyssa. And she used that growl voice on you in the boudoir. Wouldn't that be fun? And I'm not, okay. And she's dating Doyle von Frankenstein from the Misfits, so you don't be making sillies and goofies on her. That guy can beat you up, and he's a vegan too. How do you stay that big and bulky if you don't get the protein? Isn't a lot of protein come in the meats? I'm sure protein powders. That's what they do. Let's get into it. It's the comments time. Drink. Oh, yeah. Mike Buchanan, the man, the myth, the legend. He is here with his comments and his thoughts and his opining. Been a busy week, but I did manage to get a movie in that is bad, but we love it anyways. I give you one of my all-time favorite monster movies from my childhood, Them. Oh, 1954? Them is one of the first of the 1950s nuclear monster films and the first big bug film to use insects as the monsters, as nuclear weapons are becoming more and more during the 50s and testing became more prominent. Nuclear radiation monster movies became a big industry as the police find a little girl wandering through the New Mexico desert. That's always a good start to a movie right there. They start to unravel a strange set of clues to discover what lies beneath the desert. And they are deadly. I watch this movie every day after Thanksgiving at my grandparents' house as it was Creature Feature Friday. I have no idea why the local stations played monster movies the day after Thanksgiving, but I was glad they did. If you are into large mutant monster movies, then Them is right up your alley. Don't go on any picnics. Okay, so there you have that. Mike Buchanan coming in here. With that opening song, I think we should come out with the Jive Talkin Metal Cruise or Curse. You're missing an I, or you've got the R and the U backwards. We must make this happen. I could vividly remember going to a NYC club with friends and seeing Twisted Sister in the early 80s just before they blew up. Yeah, they owned wasn't it like the 5 boroughs? 5 fucking boroughs. They were rocking that shit. They were selling out everywhere. They just couldn't get that record deal. He's probably going to say all this shit. As you might remember, one of my friend's older brothers was a bouncer in the NYC club scene. Yes, I do vaguely remember that. And would sneak us in. What can I say? It was New York in the 80s, Gen X, and we didn't care. Oh, man, what a time. Imagine seeing 5 guys that look like giants all dressed up in their makeup and clothes and being a kid. It was awesome. The one and only time I ever saw TS live, not getting into a 30-plus-year-old beef. No idea whose idea it was to do Leader of the Pack, but the song destroyed TS. The album Come Out and Play at first listen was awful, but it's grown on me as I've matured over the years. I had the record with the fold out of Dee Snider in his white outfit coming out of a manhole. And I just knew it was going to be terrible. But there are some good tunes on it. I'll give you that. And isn't that the record that's got the Alice Cooper jam? Be cool to your school. Still not a fan of Slipknot, Mike Buchanan. And yes, I know I'm an Iowan, but only by transplant. Still a Jersey boy at heart. Where's my Camaro? R.I.P. Heath. Sad to hear of his passing. I'll pour one out for Miss Althea. Yep, you got to dump it. I'll give a little splash in the trash can here. There we go. There you go, Heath. Not too much for Heath, though. More for me. He doesn't need the nutrients into his body like I do. Now, he's way above that, okay? I'm not making a slight on Heath. You don't speak ill of the dead. Still Mike Buchanan here. Again, I know he had health issues, but it still sucks that I will not get to see them perform live. I'm thinking everyone is using backing tapes nowadays. Yes, there was a story, guys, that I was going to do for this thing that was about backing tapes. It was Steve Souza, Zetro from Exodus, but then I said, you know what, they've had enough of the goddamn backing tapes. They've had enough of it. I will not put them through this again. That's what I said to myself. You know, I've hear a little snippet of Bruce's new single, and it's not that bad. And you are speaking my language with a bad B movie. I am going to have to see this movie. Kind of reminds me of Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. I love that. I'll tell you a secret right now. I don't know how long it'll be up, but if you go to... What's the other video thing? It's almost like Venmo, but it's not. It's a video service, kind of like YouTube, but if you type the entire title in there, it is up there and you can watch it on that. What's it called? I can't remember, but it starts with a V, I want to say. Slacks that's that other horror movie I was wondering about, is a fantastic bad movie about a possessed pair of jeans that start killing the staff of a trendy clothing store. Okay, maybe. And yes, it is as bad as that sounds. Okay, so we know that it wasn't much better, the job that they did on the Mr. Crowley or whatever. Sigh. I've always seen Chemical Wedding or Crowley, the movie Bruce Dickinson was in. Hi, my name is Mike, and I have an addiction to bad B movies. What? Sigh. I've always seen Chemical Wedding or... he's also seen it. Jesus. Hi, my name is Mike, and I am I have an addiction to bad B movies. Is there like a 12-step program for that? ? No, but you can be the man to start it. Don't just wait for someone else to start up a 12-step. You do it. Then you can set all the rules and snacks. You can say, these are the snacks that come into the 12-stepper. And the good news is if it's bad movie 12-step, you can have whiskey. And now, Jive Talkin jokes of the week. Mommy, why are you pushing the car off the cliff? Shut up, son. You'll wake up your father. Oh. Mommy, why is Daddy bent over and crying? Shut up and eat your hot dog. Oh! I don't know if I read that right or what, but that's disgusting, and I'm telling that at work tomorrow. Mommy, Daddy's running down the street. Shut up and step on the gas. Mommy says shut up to the child a lot. Mommy, my head hurts. Shut up and get away from that dartboard. And get away from the dartboard. Well, I'm going to have to tell you a dartboard story one of these days when I got some extra time. It involves a dartboard, 2 lousy roommates, and me getting a guitar in the face. And, okay, a dartboard, 2 roommates, I'll take out the lousy, an intruder, a home invasion, and me taking one of those, what's the James Hetfield guitar? the Iron Bird or whatever it is, right to the face. Right to my face. I'll tell that story someday. Mommy, my head, shut up and get away from the dartboard. Mommy, daddy's on fire. Shut up and get the marshmallows. Mommy, are you sure this is the way to make gingerbread men? Shut up and get back in the oven. Come on now. She's going to eat her own. She's killing everyone. She's killing daddy. She's killing the son. Now I'm starting to wonder if he's recording me just saying, Mommy. He's like, hey, here's a 3-hour video of Shane saying, Mommy. Mommy, what happened to all your scabs? Shut up and eat your cornflakes. Oh, Michael. That is just disgusting. And finally, because, let's face it, I could be here making Shane read mommy jokes for the next hour and a half. I swear there's something going on with that mommy. Mommy, are you sure this is how to learn to swim? Shut up and get back in that sack. If you're really doing it right, you put a mongoose in there with him. Tie it up right in the river. There you go, good sir. I hit that hard. I always remember Smokey the Bear. Smokey the Bear is freaking on my comments. Only you can prevent forest fires. Or was it start forest fires? Was it start or prevent? Anyways, get in the comments. Keep doing Blackie. Perfect impression. That puts a smile on my face. Thank you, Smokey the Bear. I will do my best. Who's this? Christian? Hey, Shane, just discovered your channel, bro. Love your vids, brother. You're getting a thumb for that too, buddy. Christian, thank you. Sticky Doll coming in. The intro is one for the records. The Jive Boat, wow. We should do a duet and open for Corey Feldman. Yeah, he's been working what was the festival he played at where he literally made a costume change like 5 times and then told the band to start over on a song. Full disclosure, I had tickets to see Corey Feldman some years ago before all that happened with the Angels. And they canceled the tour. We said, fuck, we got to go see this. He was playing a tiny little club too, and it was like, oh, this is too good to be true. And then I think that was the thing that happened with the marijuana on the bus or something. He had marijuana or something on there, and the cops and the whole night. You remember the whole fiasco. Sticky Doll, there you go. There's that heart. And Miss Althea coming in to bring it all home. The Dumbstruck Fool says, super bonus points right off the top for the Love Boat inspired theme. I'm glad that a lot of you would have known that. I used to watch Love Boat with my grandmother. Where's Bartender Isaac with my cocktail? And Gopher? And Doc? And what was the daughter's name? And if it is any consolation, I have been there, done that hundreds of times over with kitty puke situations. So I totally feel you on that. Yes. I have to say, though, my Audrey Blue does happen to cough up the neatest and cleanest fur balls you've ever seen. Not my cats. I mean, I don't want to see that. Like a neat and clean hairball ever. I don't want to see it, but I would be interested in finding out why that is. I kind of feel like I learned something in school about the hairball being in a different spot than the stomach or something. Miss Althea, get down there and tell me all that. Tom Werman D. Snyder. Really? The album is 39 years old. She's talking about Stay Hungry. Went triple platinum. Was something lost in translation? Did Tom misunderstand something and Dee had actually only approved the Chex Mix that was brought in as a snack? I think any shade that was thrown can be considered a non-issue. 3.5 decades later, it ain't like nobody made any money. Amen. But I do feel like, I don't hear anything wrong with Stay Hungry, the mix. And he made that's where their money came from, everybody. Can we all agree on that? If there's one thing in this world, is that can we all agree? I get it that You Can't Stop Rock and Roll is probably a better record. Maybe some would say Under the Blade. But Stay Hungry was the big banger. It was the thing that made him famous. And Tom Werman was part of that. Miss Althea on Corey Taylor. Seems like he way overthought a simple question, but whatever he does is inconsequential to me. That is, unless he wants to bring his very handsome, good friend, Jensen Ackles, on stage with him. Oh. Interesting. Jensen Ackles? I gotta find out who that is. Miss Althea on Heath. I am still so shocked and deeply saddened by this news. He was only 2 years younger than me, and it is simply unfathomable that 3 ex-Japan members are gone now. Hide and Taji preceding him. I have to give utmost exclusive credit to you, Shane. Really? It is because of this channel that I discovered X-Japan in the first place. And what started as a smitten kitten crush turned into a mad love affair. Isn't that great, though? When you just find something new and you go, whoa. I still pop on Life, Sex, and... What was it? What are they called? LSD? Love, Sex, and Death, or whatever? I still pop that on. I never, but anywho. And if you thought Heath looked handsome in that shot that accompanied the article, you should see the photo shoot he did with the insanely beautiful Hide. Just saying. Regarding the new single Angel, yes, it is on Spotify, but it is a ballad that I personally do not think would be appropriate for the channel. Oh. My recommendation for post-Hide era X-Japan would be their 2015 single, Born to Be Free, audio available on Spotify. We'll do it. Born to Be Free. I'm going to remember that. There is also a video. Maybe we do the video. Let's do the video. Miss Althea on Blackie Lawless. OMG, why are we still talking about backing tapes? You see what I did there? I was going to do another story about backing tapes with Exodus, and I says, no, they're done with that. With backing tapes, it's bad enough that Velvet is coming back in style. Yeah, because I'm talking about Steve Duran. Is that his real name? Blackie Lawless. He had that red velvet shirt on. Man, he looked fantastic. Bruce Dickinson. Miss Althea on Bruce Dickinson. I half laughed and half groaned at the entire notion of Bjorn of the Dead. ABBA's music was a huge part of my childhood, and therefore shall not be disrespected in my world. I love me some ABBA. I like me some Ace of Base. Don't turn around, that you're gonna see my heart breaking. Don't turn around. They had a couple good tunes, but I like me some ABBA. You know who another huge fan of ABBA is Tobias Fjorg, Papa Emeritus, the lead singer and money holder of Ghost. He's a huge ABBA fan too. And so is, I don't know why this is coming to me, but I want to say Tom G. Warrior of Celtic Frost has talked about his love for ABBA. ABBA's music was a huge part of my childhood and therefore shall not be disrespected in my world. At the same time, though, it all sounds like a delicious offering for Mike's bad B movies. We love Anyway collection. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeed. Miss Althea, speaking of which, my contribution to that topic is 1957's The Monolith Monster. I'll bet you Tubi's got a hell of a lot of these old 50s movies on there, I bet. A meteor crashes and the fragments grow, procreate, and generally wreak havoc. Terrible. Portals to Hell, comma, the Osbournes want to believe, comma. Oh, she's naming all the Jack Osbourne TV programming. Portals to Hell, the Osbournes want to believe. I think I've seen an episode. Is that where they watch ghost videos? And Sharon goes,
Oh, see, it looked like a little demon crawled right out of his ass. And
Sharon, what is it? There's Fright Club. He's got Night of Terror. Haunted Homecoming are all on Jack Osbourne's paranormal show resume. Wow. Haunted Homecoming? I am honestly surprised he has not collabed with Zach Baggins and Nick Groff. Poor Nick Groff, man, he's just having a hell of a time. Who was one of the original Ghost Adventure crew and fellow paranormal show producers. Yes, I agree. I feel like something has gone awry. I think Zach Baggins and him went in on a venture, ghost adventure, venture with each other. And then old Zach Baggins started to show himself as the star. Nick Groff is an investigator, first and foremost. He is not, he is concerned about what is going on in the underworld. But Zach Baggins became the star. And all of these shows are on Tubi that I watch, but Nick Groff has got a hell of a lot of them that just kind of, one season is like Nick Groff's Lockdown. You're like, oh, God. And then it's Nick Groff goes to jolly old England. And just a bunch of them. Let's see. Who was one of the original Ghost Adventure crew and fellow paranormal show producers. Yes, Miss Althea, indeed. I watch all of the ghosty shows. I just can't get enough of it. And I don't know why. But let's see what we can get on here, okay? I'm starting to get more of a hang of Get out there, take care of yourself. Oh no, I don't like that tone. Get out there and win the day, seize the day, breathe deep, take a walk, take a run, take a fun run. Get on a, do whatever. Go skiing, go hiking, go climbing. Go do all the things that I'm never going to do. I'm jiving late at night. I saw a ghost in the road, it gave me such a fright. You wanna jive? The ghost says, hell yeah. I got 102 episodes, you demon ghost mother. Let's jive all night and ghostly. Lay down in bed, Mr. Demon Ghost, Demon Ghost. We're just going to listen to the latest episode of Jive Talkin. And nothing else. Never nothing else. Why am I talking about laying naked in a bed with a demon ghost? Hell no. So let's jive.